But before we go on, we definitely want to revive her body. And we want to, let's see, we want to summon her. Replace Kukulane. And we want to use Piranhas. Cure the poison. Just lick our wounds from that battle. That was about as bad as that could have went without me actually dying. So all in all, about par for the course. That could have went a lot worse. He really had me on the ropes there, but at the end there, I was able to kind of recover. I didn't mean to use that on you. Go ahead and use your poison. Cure your poison. Why am I doing this? Laziness. So I can do this. How many Piranhas do I have? I should have a bunch. Yes, I've got plenty. Plenty of Piranhas for the final battle. We are coming up on the end here, folks. We are in the astral void on the 64th floor. Okay, that's good enough. And we'll go ahead and use an orb on our body. And she's got plenty of... We'll just go ahead and use these two Piranhas on her. Go ahead and finish that stack off. Alright. Just gonna walk forward. And I think the walls disappear behind you, which is neat, a neat touch. There's nothing to the right or left. So you just gotta walk forward. Who is it? Who dares to kill Satan? I mean, shouldn't you know? I think that you just get teleported back out every time you go forward until he's done with his... Ye accursed ones. Oh boy, aren't you just like the pot calling the kettle black? All you have is a countenance. Where's the rest of you? So you can tell this is the real YHVH because he's yellow and not blue. So, you know, that's... Also, I think the other one was kind of see-through and not as solid. That's what my brain's telling me. That's the second time you've said that. all you have is a countenance. I guess when all you have is a countenance, a face, that makes it really important to you. So this right here is reincarnate the your life shall be endless torment, those bodies tortured in life and thy souls in death. That's what people kind of consider to be what happened to Aleph. Like, he lived his life out here, and then he had gets reincarnated into all the different SMT worlds, only to suffer a horrendous fate. There is I don't know if this is true, but the guy that I forget his name. He's in SMT3. He's the reporter for that occult magazine. Basically, people consider him to be Aleph. And if this is like truly like the canonical fate they want to happen to Aleph, then I think they should go all in. There should always be a character in every game that looks like Aleph that dies horrendously. Like, it suffers. Okay, so we're going to take this the same way we took the previous boss. YHVH has 17,080 hit points, again with the very specific numbers. Like, the only one of these 4 bosses we fought that had a reasonable HP total was Satan, because he had like 1,200 and 500 even. The rest of them have like some random number. So we just want to Divine Ret this guy. That's not bad. She should be able to, hopefully. Hopefully do some damage to him. We're going to go ahead and summon Kukulane. To take the place of Giramekra. And we're going to have you use a Haranya. And if I get lucky, it'll restore enough MP for... I just need 25. Another Divine Ret. Oh, I need to do one more Tarakaja. Okay, so that's... We need 2 Tarakajas. We need one more after this. So we got to keep up with the Tarakajas. No, we're fine. Divine Ret. Eat that. Alright, so sword. Divine Ret. Sword. Adir Rahan. Deathbound. And one more Divine Ret. So you can see how much she's missing. If I didn't specifically go all out to have her get as much hit as possible. Like, that was a consideration that I had for her. She would probably miss every single hit. Alright, so he should be dead soon-ish. We are good on hit points, but you can't really attack, so whatever. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, 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 that was a really good one. Apparently, Aleph got flipped over there for some reason. That's fine though, because he's almost dead. Like, we need to bring back somebody though, so we're gonna bring back Giramekra, and then we'll, if this battle continues on into another round, which it's getting pretty close. I don't think he's going to survive too much longer, because Hiroko's doing some work with that whip. And we could summon Giramekra here, and he can help take up some of the slack that Aleph let go by letting that overflow bug happen to himself. Like, why would you let yourself that happen to you? It's fine. Hopefully that doesn't kill Giramekra. Ah! Whatever. We'll just finish this off this way. Might as well just cast Tarakaja again. It might have something to do with the fact that maybe the value stayed at the level it was when I got Dekajed. So when I cast it again, I did actually get overflowed. I haven't actually looked into how the overflow bug works. I just know it exists. But we got all those. As long as you get all of your Divine Rets off, like 5 or 6 of them, you're good. And have somewhere in the range of like 175 or more hit, then you should have no problem taking on this boss. He's very hard otherwise. If for some reason you don't meet those requirements, have somebody to cast Divine Retribution a couple of times and have 175 hit. I would say that he's the hardest to fight on the law path, because he's immune. There's a high level demon of every alignment that can cast Divine Retribution, but I explained how it works before. Divine Retribution only works on the opposite alignment. Well, we'll find out. But because he's law, that means all of the final bosses are law aligned. That means it's, you're the high level demon that casts Divine Retribution can't do anything to them. There is a high level demon on the chaos side that can cast it, and you can use on this guy. But I'm pretty sure. I'd have to double check. I could be lying to you. But Anubis is available to all 3 alignments, and Shiva is Chaos Elemental. That's it. She's Chaos aligned. That's it. That's why. That's what I'm thinking. So Shiva is Chaos aligned. You can't have her on the law side. So yeah. And then Anubis is the neutral demon who can cast Divine Retribution. So we are in the world, yeah. We are in Holy Town, right? Yeah, this is Holy Town. It's very weird. It confused the mess out of me the first time. They just drop you here in Holy Town. And I think what you're supposed to do is, I want to talk to all the people refuse to say anything, but I think the fortune teller says something interesting. So, I don't think I used the fortune teller a single time. I think Hiroko is one of the most interesting female companions in the series because of the parallels they have to Lilith and her design. Like, visually, I think she's the most interesting. I mean, obviously, character-wise, she's kind of a blank slate, but you could say that about most of the female people who join your party, with the exception of the one in 4. I forget her name. Oh my goodness. It's Flynn Walter. I can't remember either the female companion or the law hero's name. But compared to the first game, the neutral ending here is very light. There's a lot more content, I feel, in the first game's neutral ending, which has always led me to believe that the neutral ending, in the back of my head anyway, this is my personal, like, headcanon here, so take it with a grain of salt. But I've always felt like the neutral ending is not the canon ending for this game. I mean, this game is very law-based. Like, it's just, it oozes the law alignment, like, throughout everything. There's the dragon. And I'm assuming that right there is a cutscene from the law ending, where when you shoot off to space, the dragon comes out. But I don't know. I just feel like more happens in the law ending, you know? They kind of just dump you into Holy Town and you go, well, now things are gonna happen. End game. But it's a Super Nintendo game. It's just as, I don't know. I don't like this game as much as the first one. I'm gonna just come out right and say that. It's very... There's points in the game where it is way more ambiguous about what you're supposed to do than it is in the first game. The gameplay's a little better. You can tell they looked at some of the overpowered strategies in the first game and they tried to rebalance some of the stuff. I don't feel like they did a super good job in that. It created imbalances in other ways. It felt like kind of like a half measure, you know, a half attempt. The story is neat, but there's still way too much filling in the blanks. And I feel like it's even more egregious in this game than it is the first game. Like, I really would like to see some kind of remakes of these games. Like, newer remakes. There was PlayStation 1 remakes of the first 3 Super Nintendo SMT games. The first game, and If, but we'll never see those. But I would like to see, you know, remakes of this and the first game, just because I want to see their stories fleshed out. Mainly, like, there's the hint. There's that guy that turned into Surprise Mara. You never expect Mara. He's like the Spanish Inquisition. He just shows up and he's like, penis. But I will never forget that. Surprise Mara. I was not expecting it, and I still cannot figure out what caused that. I have tried to recreate that, and as far as I can tell, it's just a bug in the translation patch. I don't know. I have absolutely no clue what caused it. But it didn't seem to have affected the game long term, so it was just a surprise, funny moment. But I don't know. I want to see a remake of this game because I feel like there's just something, like, it's on the there's something there. It's on the tip of your tongue. If only there was more to it, you know. There's also some really good locations in this game that it's kind of marred by the fact that the design of the game, where it's just, you know, corridors and it's a dungeon crawler. So, I mean, but you can't really hold that against this game, because even in the later games, that's a problem. It's a problem in the third game as well. It's just they kind of it's not quite as noticeable because the game is in 3D. But, like, you know, Red Bear and Madam and, like, the entire intro sequence in this game, like, there's just it's there, and like I talked about before, it bugs the mess out of me that they tell you and they don't show you. So, like I said, overall, I do like the game, don't get me wrong, but I definitely like the first game more. I feel like the first game had a tighter focus. You felt like you knew what you were doing at any given time, even if your goal was, let's explore the wasteland, the world has ended. Whereas this game, sometimes you just got to go do things, and you're not 100% sure why. Specifically around the time you get to the underworld, I feel that's when that happens. Like, why did we go to the underworld? They don't say. Why didn't we just stay in Holytown and help Zane? You know, like, why are we running to the underworld? Who knows? That's just where the plot sends you. Why did we go to the Abyss? I don't know. That's just where the plot sent us. I mean, so I think Beth is another character that got done a disservice. Both her and Hiroko both got done a disservice by the structure of this game. Like, they could, if this were a modern game, there would be a whole scene. I have no idea what that was. Actually, I do know what that was. That was that's the titular goddess in the Megami. Like, I think Shin Megami Tensei means, like, true goddess resurrection, and that's her. She's the goddess of Tokyo. She shows up every once in a while, but, like, she just randomly shows up at the end here. So I really like the music in this game. They could have done some more balancing. Some of the, but if, like, the problem with doing that is, if they had made certain things weaker, it would have made the random battles take way too long, which is a problem, I feel like, in some of the later games. The random battles take way too long. The third game really has that problem in some spots. I'm trying to think if any of the other games have that. I feel like the Devil Tuner or Digital Devil Saga games, the first two, the two of those, they probably had that as well. This scene is just so weird at the end of the game. It's like, this has nothing to do with anything. You just have this golden goddess flying around. She's a lot more important in the fourth game. So, which I would love to play someday. For you on the channel. I'm actually thinking about getting a new 2DS so I can soft mod it so I could stream to that, but we'll see. I haven't really I've only just started looking into that. But anyway, that was SMT2. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did enjoy bringing this game to you. Not really sure what I'm going to start recording next. I've already recorded the majority, not quite everything for it, but the majority of Live a Live. And I'm leaning towards doing another Saga game next, because they just came out with a PC port for Romancing Saga 2. But I'd have to do some testing. So whatever I do, it's gonna have to do some testing. Unfortunately, I'm running out of. I don't have a whole lot in the way of free time here lately. But I will see you guys in whatever future space I decide to do something in. Bye.